Dit programma wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door het International Film Festival Rotterdam.
Welkom bij Big Talk. 10 dagen lang worden tijdens het International Film Festival Rotterdam de meest bijzondere films vertoond. En iedere avond in het Oude Luxor interviewt Hans Maarten van der Brink een belangrijke gast van het festival. Vanavond is dat niemand minder dan Bernardo Bertolucci over zijn film Io e te.
Dank u wel, dames en heren. Thank you very much, Mr. Bertolucci.
Thank you.
It's an honor. And we had to wait a long time for you to have a film in the festival. You've been here in '68, I think, and sometimes as a guest. Before we start, I think I have the same experience as many people in the audience. We meet for the first time, but you have been with us for decades. Your films mark changes in the cultural, in the political climate. If it was for Il Conformista, which I had to catch up on because of my age, for Novecento at the time when Gérard Depardieu was still willing to pay his taxes, The Last Tango in Paris on a completely different level, and then The Last Emperor, The Sheltering Sky. And now there has been a pause for 9 years. My first question would, of course, be, why did you stop at a certain moment, and why did you start again now?
I think that this is a kind of God's punishment, because I've done too many dolly movements in my movies, so now I'm becoming a human dolly, and so...
And people have to stand up for you. And, yeah. So it was the problems with your back that made you basically stop?
Yeah, I mean, it's 9 years of the story of my back. I could do my back story. Okay, the back story is not behind me, but it's the story of somebody, me, that for a discal hernia was operated not very well. And I remember when I did The Dreamers, I was very much in pain. Then there was another moment in 2004 when I had another back problem, and a second operation. And then in 2008, a third operation. So it's a bit boring, but it was to say, be very careful before letting some scalpel to touch your back. And when 4 years ago I had to go on this chair, I thought, okay, it's the end of me as a director, as a film director. I will have a lot of time to read all the books I haven't read, and I gave up in a way. No, I want to tell, if somebody is in my condition, I think it's very important at a certain moment you start to accept that condition.
And then
the
you have room again for...
The moment I accepted the bloody wheelchair, I started to think, but it's okay. On one hand, it will be a miracle, because on the other hand, it's the easiest thing for me to shoot a movie. So 2 years ago, I had this, Nicola Maniti gave me his new book, Io e te, me and you, and I thought, that's perfect for me. It happens in more or less one principal set, and so I can make it.
You must have been reading various books, but what made this one so special? Was it the character, the main character? Was it the situation as you...
Was that, in a way, with my operations, I created a condition quite similar to the one of the boy you'll see of the movie. I mean, I closed myself at home for a period. So I could identify with the kid.
With the 14-year-old.
Yeah. No, I said yesterday in a press conference that when somebody tells me, oh, it's such a young movie, I like to say this is not a special talent, it's just a case of my arrested development at the age of 14. And so it was great fun. I had fantastic fun.
Let me be almost as personal as you are now, and it's a risk for me. The film you're about to see is basically about a young boy. We can already tell that, and I was very much touched by that boy. The frail body, a bit too long, a bit clumsy. The face, the insecurity, and at the same time this strange determination to do something, or rather, don't do something and resist. The sort of striving, yearning for contact, for love, and being unable to make it. I felt very old, and at the same time sort of transplanted to that day and age. Was that the sort of feeling you tried to capture in the film? Was that the motivation?
I really didn't get exactly what you felt. I mean, I felt that
the sort of relation between how it is when your body is still growing, mentally you're still growing, you're insecure, you want to make contact, you want to be loved, but you're not able to.
Yes, it's the malaise of the adolescence that we all know. I have seen 14 years old kids, so friends of mine, insulting their parents like furious and locking themselves in their rooms and smoking pot. And I mean, 14 is very difficult and very violent, can be very violent. In a way, it's a portrait of you and me, and at 14, because we were all like that. And
you weren't like that.
I was writing poems, and it's a way of locking yourself also to write poems. And
you did change a few things in the comparing with the novella, I think. The father is only present in dreams, I understand, and it's Lorenzo's own decision not to go on the trip, instead of that he's excluded. I think it makes it even stronger, but what was the motivation to change that? Do you remember?
The motivation is that he wants to have a week without his parents. And
it's not the others who are pushing him away.
The best occasion is to say that he's going to a ski week. And
is there a big difference for you working from a book, a novella, as in this case, and or developing your own script?
You know, in some way, at the end of the shooting, the novella is something very different. When I do film from my, it's like it becomes mine, you know. It's because when you do a movie from a book, the writers have to know that the book will be completely manipulated and become different.
Unrecognizable.
No, but there are big changes in all the movies I've done from books, like The Conformist, Spider Stratagem, Sheltering Sky. If I make a movie from a book, I have to rewrite the book in a way, in sense of movie language.
And what is the role of the original writer then? Do you like to consult him, or because he did cooperate on the scenario?
Oh yeah, and writers in general are very stiff about big changes.
So why work with them?
No, because I wanted to change, to have him and to convince him that the changes were good. He was doing some grimaces, but and he accepted that, and now it's very pleased, I think.
When it comes to filming, you are not particularly aiming for realism in most of your films, and but as soon as you have two people in a room in a closed space, don't you run the risk of it being more theater than cinema?
Yeah, it's another challenge, and I'd love to be able to make cinema that gives the same strength that you have in theater when you can smell the sweat of the actors. So if that is theater, yeah.
But it's a different way of directing, or not?
You know, I never accepted to. They offered me to do theater, to do a lot of operas, because in my first movies there was a lot of Verdi music. There were situations with operas, like in La Luna, and I never accepted. I have a stage panic, what the French call le trac. And
what is that? Stage panic?
Stage panic, the one I had just 10 minutes before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
but it's over now, I hope.
The idea now they say that to take me to a stage, I need at least a lot of money. Then to take me away, I need a lot of money. I want to stay, to remain.
Yeah, because once you're on, you love it.
You will see. We stay and talk and talk and talk.
No. We're limited to a little over 20 minutes, so I think we should get on. Were there moments where you thought back to another very famous and ground-changing movie that you made with two people in a room, an apartment? I mean, of course, The Last Tango in Paris. Were there similarities in the whole setup?
There was already this looking for a closed place. You know, you do Last Tango in Paris, which is also in an apartment, and then I did Novecento, which is completely
wide open spaces,
space, and little by little, you know, you explore, you do your secret challenges.
Can you do more improvisation in such a small space? Was there much improvisation by the actors in this film?
I ask a lot the actors to improvise, to be surprised is very good, because I think that I love to be surprised when I see a movie.
So you put them off balance?
If there, sometimes, yes. Yeah, it happened with the poor Maria Schneider, and when we had the scene with butter, and we prepared it with Marlon, but I didn't tell Maria what was going on. And she was, because I wanted her reaction as a girl, not as an actress. I didn't want her to act that. And she was very offended and humiliated, and I was very sad. When she died, I was really sad because I never met her again. I couldn't ask her to forgive me.
It's a very
because,
tragic story, but, and it of course begs the question if you're still good friends with the two actors in this film.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, maybe the other thing is that I have no children to do movies with young actors, a way of feeling a father, feeling like a father.
Are they really actors then? A 14-year-old boy? It's not a
With
professional actor,
with
cannot be a professional actor.
No, it is. No, but also the three kids in The Dreamers, I felt very much a kind of paternity.
You already mentioned music. Let's not tell people what the music is in this film, but did you select it yourself? There's one touch of genius near the end, which I thought, well... the music on the earphone is chosen by the boy. I wanted him to be happy on what he was But
hearing.
it's vintage for him.
No, because The Cure is not vintage, and etc., etc. The last one, the last piece is not in his earphone. The last piece is...
That's almost a commentary. We're not going to tell you the title. That's almost a commentary from the director or from God. Isn't it?
It's something written in '69 and
I know,
and registered, done in '69, and tells the story of the film.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a fabulous commentary right near the end of the film on everything that has been happening. We are nearing already the end of our talk, but I want to go to the beginning of the film. Right when the first titles came on, I thought, and I'm asking the question because there are certainly people in the audience who will think the same thing, Mediaset. Wasn't that the company of Mr. Berlusconi? And weren't you always, among other things, also a political filmmaker?
Yeah, but I have nothing against Berlusconi as a film distributor. But
he should stick to that.
but I am very much. I always did what I could against Berlusconi.
Yeah.
But you cannot not to go with. There are two big distribution in Italy. One is Mediaset, and the other one is 01, which is the RAI, the national television distribution.
And this is Rock and Hard Place, or Rock and Hard Place, Skilla Charybdis?
No, the fact is that to be able to show the movies in Italy, sometime you need the big distributors, and I hope the Dutch distributors, a distributor I just met, will have some luck with it.
And that there's such good capitalists that they will distribute it very well. Yeah. But no, of course the question comes from you being even, I think you even lost your voting rights for a while in Italy in the...
You know, I tell young people who probably hasn't seen Last Tango in Paris, and so they will... Anyway, the story is that in Italy, the film was kind of persecuted by the justice. We had 3 trials. The first trial, there was the denunciation, and then the movie was free, not sentenced. I mean, free. There was appeal, and we got Marlon Brando, the producer, and myself 2 months of prison with suspension. Can you imagine?
You still haven't gone.
Italy in 72, 3. Then we were waiting when the 3rd degree, which was also, the film was condemned. So that I felt like a martyr a bit. It was also a good thing. But the film was, of course,
is that
banned.
a nice feeling?
No, there'd be a martyr, yeah. But then the film disappeared for years. One day, years later, I didn't receive my electoral card, and the election were there. So I went to the place where they do it, and they said, you forgot to send me the electoral certificate. So an old man went, huge, big black book. And he started to open it, and he said, A, B, and then I read Bertolucci Bernardo. Of course you can't vote because you lost your civil rights. And that was really painful. And for 5 years I couldn't vote. And
so in the next election, are you going to vote? I'm not going to ask you
something
for whom. But
of the 70s.
Yeah, but will you be voting?
You asking me for?
No, yeah, not for whom you are going to vote, but will you be voting?
You know, you touch a painful subject.
You're lucky that we're almost out of time.
Because I am in a kind of disamore with politics. Disamore, I fell out of love. It's something that has been always quite urgent in different ways for me. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure I will go.
But you are sure, I hope, that you will make another film now that you've
found
your...
So I will come back to Rotterdam.
Yes. Well, on that note, I keep you to that promise.
Thanks.
And I wish you all a very good screening of You and Me.
Buona visione.
De nachtfilm die u zo gaat zien is van de Egyptische regisseur Ibrahim El Battout, Hawi, uit 2010. Hawi is een mozaïekfilm over het hedendaagse Egypte. Een film waarin iedereen op zoek lijkt te zijn naar iets of naar iemand. Eenzaamheid en wanhoop in het Egypte van nu.
Dit programma werd mede mogelijk gemaakt door het International Film Festival Rotterdam.